There we go. All right, we are jumping into lesson 9 today. So, lesson 9 says I can use place value. Understanding. That means what I know about place value. You guys know a lot about place value. Think about all the things you've ever done with the place value chart, with the ones place, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, all the way through the millions now. So I can use place value understanding to round, yep, we're there again today, multi-digit numbers to any place value. Okay. Now we started going to any place value yesterday, didn't we? Okay. We are again going to any place. So sometimes our questions might have us round to the thousands, sometimes we're rounding to the 100,000s, the millions, and so on. So we're just going to have to pay really close attention to what? What are we going to need to pay really close attention to? Yeah. What we round to. And that's usually in the what?
Thousands.
No, that's not what it. That's a good answer, but not the right question. Where do we find what we're rounding to? That's what I mean. Go ahead, because you started us off.
Like in the question.
In the question. Sometimes it's in the directions, isn't it? So somewhere around that problem is going to be what the information that you need. And that right there is almost just as important as the lesson, is to realize how important it is to read your directions, to read your question carefully. Okay, just a few quick practice slides. I want you to see this because every now and then these types of words are going to pop up somewhere. And so this kind of practice gets us more familiar. 10 times 10. 10 times 10. Think back to your multiplication facts. What is 10 times 10, Caleb?
100.
It is 100. Let's get a pen going here. Okay, now all they're doing, guys, a lot of the time is switching out the word 10 for the number 10. So, Brandon, we've got 10 times how many tens make 100? This is the same as this.
10 times.
Okay, hold on. 10 times how many tens?
10.
Well, 10 tens is 1,000. Now, right here, y'all just told me 10 times 10 is 100, right? How many tens is this, everybody?
10.
How many?
1.
1. How many tens is this? 1. 10 times how many tens is 100? 1. Okay. Let me show you. They took all of this and replaced this with it. Okay. Instead of drawing a 10 like a number, they replaced it with the numeral or the digit 1 and the word 10. Okay. So now this is the same as these two. How many tens times how many tens equals 100? It's the same problem. These are all the same problem. They're just changing the way they're saying it. Yeah.
110 times 110.
Exactly. 110 times 110 equals 100. Sometimes when they throw these unit words like this into what we're doing, it confuses us. And it shouldn't, because it's the same thing. But if we're never used to seeing it, it might confuse us. All right, so again, same thing down here. Now they've just put the answer in a word, okay? So how many tens times how many tens equals how many hundreds? What do you think?
110 times 110 times 100.
Well, 110 times 110 equals 100, okay? All right. Let's look at one more slide of practice. Let's see if this makes sense to us. It doesn't with all that mess on the board. There we go. Okay. 110 Okay, remember, 110 is the same as this right here. Okay, 110 times 20 equals how much? Oh, that's a little bigger. Let me think for a minute. 110 times 20. 110 times 2 is 20. So 110 times 20,
200.
it is 200. Okay, so let's kind of follow the pattern that we're seeing. Then if 110 times 20 is 200, 110 times 40 is, okay?
400.
Okay, so we would write it this way with the words 400s. Because 400s is the same as 400. One is with words, with units, and one is with just digits. Okay, so 110 times what equals 700?
70.
Okay, good. Okay, this makes more sense the more you do it. Okay, 4 tens times 110. And if you have to, think in your mind what digits those are. This is this, and this is this, equals how many hundreds? Yeah.
400.
Okay, 400s. So 400s could be written like this, but it could also be written like that. Okay? So seeing these words, these unit words, it's just another way to write the same thing we see more often, the digits. Okay. Everybody, look. Aren't you excited? I can see the excitement in your eyes. Even if your face looks like this, there is excitement in your eyes. I see it. You might try to hide it, but I see it. I have a special teacher vision. I can see you're just excited to see this again. Yes. Everybody cheer for me. Ready, go.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good old rounding cheer right there. That was. That was. All right, let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Oh, wow. All right, this side of the room definitely beat this side of the room. Let's try it one more time. Okay, let's hear it for rounding.
Yeah!
All right. See, I knew you were excited. You just had it inside of you. Let it out. One more day of rounding.
Brandon comes in here and says, "Hey, we're gonna get in trouble."
No, man.
No, because you're excited about math.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
somebody comes down the hall and wants to fuss at us, we're going to invite them inside and teach them how to round because we are becoming little rounding experts. Yes, we are. Now, y'all told me a little while ago that one of the most important things we could do is to read a certain thing before we ever start the problem. What do we need to read? The what?
Question.
You always need to do this no matter what you're doing. Read the
I need to see what you're.
directions. Read the directions, and you might have said question. They're both important. We need to read the directions. I need to read the question. Read the boy. If you get that out of this lesson, that would be enough. Always read your directions carefully. Always read your question carefully. So our directions tell us to round to the nearest what? Everybody. 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Really, our directions and our question are kind of the same right here. We've got this number. Let's go ahead and get out your whiteboards, your markers. Let's get that out. You do not need your place value chart, so don't worry about that.
Oh, I got my earbuds out instead of mine. Here, I got my earbuds out instead of.
Wow, were you planning on listening to your whiteboard?
All right, so you have your marker, you have your eraser. like we have always done, I want you to write this number on your board. I don't want you to write anything else. Okay? So right now, kind of towards the top, but not all the way at the top, 63,941. Go ahead and write that. And then I actually want you to put the top back on your marker and lay it down.
Draw the number line too.
I just answered that, so think back to what I said. Okay, top on your marker, lay it down, because we should already have this written. Okay, this is quick. Get it done, put it down. Okay? All right. So let me have your eyes for a few minutes. I know that over the last few days we have talked about this. We have worked and worked on these types of problems. And sometimes when we get to one of these days after a lot of practice is the day that everybody enjoys, and I'll tell you why. They have for you a number line, okay? But this is a day where we are going to be allowed to choose the way we like to do this best, okay? Even when you get to your problem set today, you won't see number lines every time. All you will see is, please round this number to the whatever place. And if you choose to use the number line, then use the number line. That might be the tool that works best for you. If you like our lovely rounding rhyme way better, then use that. And let me go put it back where it goes. It's a traveling poster this year. Let's get it laminated.
You need to get to it.
Yeah. But I can't really leave it in there because she needs room for her stuff. Okay? All right. Before anybody, though, gets started, I wanted to remind us about rounding to some of these other places. Yesterday, we kind of had a moment where it felt like maybe some of the things I had told you to start with, we changed. If you're rounding to just the thousands place, you get to use all of that because all of that is in the thousands family. Okay? Even if there was another digit, that would all be in the thousands family. This is 10,000s. What digit is in the 10,000s place? Charlotte, which one? In the 10,000s place. Okay. So we know to go in and find that, right? The 3 is in the thousands place. Tops are on markers. Nobody's writing anything right now. Okay. The 3 is in the thousands place. Are these thousands big enough? Is there enough of them there to be a 10,000?
No.
No, not yet. Not yet. This is like little brother wanting to do what big brother does, but they're just not big enough yet. Okay. So when we ask, how many 10,000s are in this number to start with? Can we say 63,000?
No.
Not 10,000s, no. How many are there?
6.
We're just going to look in the 10,000s place. Yes, there are 6. 6 10,000s. 10,000 6 times. That is 60,000. Okay, remember, our numbers on this number line have to be close to this. So if you just accidentally wrote 3,000 or accidentally wrote 6,000, that is not even close to this, is it? So you know that can't be right. What's one more 1,000? I said that wrong, didn't I? What's one more 10,000? You have to separate these by however much they're wanting you to round by, okay? All right, I know that I'm working this with the number line, but I'm reminding you of how we do this, okay? What would our middle number be? Martin, what would go halfway between 60,000 and 70,000?
60,000.
There's 10,000 in between them, so what's half of 10,000?
5,000.
There you go. think you guys picture the correct number in your head. It's just knowing how to say it sometimes, 65,000. So where is our number going to go? All right, I'm stopping right here. Okay, I'm stopping right here. I kind of got you started. I think now that the number line has its numbers, you know what to do. I'm going to let you finish the problem in the way you want to finish it. So if you want the number line, I've helped you this time. Go ahead and draw that. If you want to do it the other way, where you look next door, go ahead and do it that way. I'm going to give you just a few seconds to finish the problem. Put your number on the number line if you're using a number line. Put the dot on the number line where your number goes. Where does this go on the number line? 63,941. About. Okay. If you have done the number line way, then you have put your number on the number line. Would it be in the bottom half of the number line or the top half? Valerie, did you put yours down here or up here?
Down.
Okay, because 63 is smaller than 65, isn't it? That's our first clue. So it would be right about here. So our number is closer to this. If you did it the other way, which was a lot faster, but if you're not comfortable with that way, that's okay, and use the number line. Totally okay. So we're going to look next door. That 3, is it 5 or greater? No. If it's less than 5, leave it for short. So we're going to leave this 6 a 6, and all of these from the arrow over become a 0. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Make sure you get the right number. 4 zeros. And we do have the same answer that time. Okay. Either one of those ways gave us the correct answer. The number line helps you see the number and what it's closest to. This method, you don't see it as much, but you learn to look at the other digits to help you. Okay? All right, so clear your board off. Now that we've kind of gotten back in our head how these work. All right, before we start this one, somebody help us with the directions or the question. We could call it, this time we could call it either one because they're about the same thing. Yes?
It says round to the nearest 1,000.
1,000. Okay. Somebody tipped over my number line.
Oh.
Whatever am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Same thing.
Same thing. Your first number would go here. Your second number would go here. Your middle number here. Okay, if you don't like the number line this way, they kind of put it this way just to show you it can go either way. You can lay it this way or you can lay it this way, horizontal or vertical. It's going to work the same way both ways. But right now I'm going to let you totally choose. Okay, this is your problem to work. Draw a number line if you want a number line. If not, work it the other way. We'll go over it in just a second. I'm gonna throw this out there. If you're doing a number line, we're rounding to the thousands place. You need to make sure you have the right bottom and top number. When we're rounding to the thousands place, we use all of the thousands. Big enough to change the phone. Is this 5 or more? No. Okay, so we're going to keep the 4. Right underneath. Keep the 4. 7 doesn't change, so keep the 7. All the rest of these turn over here. Raise your hand if you used a number line. Okay, raise your hand if you did not use a number line. You tried the other way. Okay. Just curious. Okay, this is the problem that I saw when I started walking around. If we're rounding to the thousands, guys, please put your eyes up here. Okay? We have to use all of them. Because if you just, some of you were putting 40,000 and 50,000, or 40,000 and 41,000. That was not correct. There are 47,000. So our first number would be 47,000. And one more thousand would be 48,000. What number is in the middle? 47,500. This is what bothers people about the number line. One of the things that bothers them is that it's hard to figure out what numbers go on it to begin with. Once you get your numbers, you're good. And that's why some people choose the other way. Our number would go 47,261 is a little bit smaller than half. So it's closer to 47,000. Here is our thousands place. We look next door. That 2 tells it to stay the same. So we keep the 4, we keep the 7. All of these become zeros.
I tried that way and I feel better that way.
With some practice, we would all feel better that way, probably. Okay. Now, after showing you that, does anybody have a question? Did anything about this question confuse you? It's okay to ask questions. In fact, that's how we learn a lot of times. Okay, clear your board then, and let's move to the next one. If you're not asking questions, I gotta assume that you got this and you know what you're doing. Okay? But if you're still feeling unsure about rounding, please know that is normal, and this is a skill that takes a while for some of us to really get good at. Okay, same thing. A little bit larger, but before we start, Brandon, what's our directions tell us, our question?
Round to different place values, round to the nearest 100,000.
Okay, everybody freeze. Move your eyes where you're looking up here. If we're going to round to the 100,000s place, which digit is in the 100,000s place, Kennedy? Which one? The 6, the 1, or the 8? 100,000s. Right here. Okay. Are these big enough to be 100,000s? No, these are just 10,000s. They're not big enough. Are these big enough to be 100,000s? No. Okay, so this time you're only going to look at that digit. Okay, you may go ahead and get to work on this one using the number line or doing it the other way. several of you are finished. There is a big difference in time when it comes to these two methods, and so we've got to be patient with each other on days like today. How many 100,000s do we have to start with, Will?
6.
We have 600,000s. I'm going to work this both ways because I have a mixture of which way that you chose. Okay? What is one more 100,000, Charlotte? 600,000. One more 100,000 will be 700,000. Halfway would be 650,000. So if you put that on your number line, 618, a lot less than 650, it would be somewhere down here, closer to this number. Okay? But if you looked at this and you said, I want to do it the other way, you find your place value, look next door. If it's 5 or greater, add one more. Is that 5 or greater? No. If it's 4 or less, keep it the same. So the 6 stays the same, and all the rest of the digits from the arrow over become zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 600,000. Okay, 600,000. All right. What does that in red say? Reagan, can you read that really loud for us?
Round to any place without a vertical number line.
Okay. I know that I said you could choose. For this one problem, I'm going to ask you not to choose the number line way. And I'm going to see that you're comfortable with the other way too. So clear off your board and write the number. 65,600. You know what? If you have to picture the number line in your head, that's okay. But I want you just for once to try it without. So we're going to find our place value target. What are we rounding to, Martin?
Nearest 1,000.
Read it one more time. It's tiny. Right here.
10,000.
Yes. Okay. So we're rounding to the 10,000s place. So you need to find that place right here. Okay. Now you go ahead and finish it. Draw an arrow to the right next door. Draw an arrow to the bottom. What is that 5 next door going to tell that 6 to do? I'm not saying that for you to answer out loud. I'm trying to get you to think. Okay. We're rounding to the nearest 10,000, not 1,000. Somebody walk me through it. Somebody that feels comfortable with this way, tell me everything I need to do here. You give it a try? You got it. So tell me what you did.
Alright,
What do I need to do next?
you need to draw an arrow to 5.
Okay. And so what do I need to think about that 5 next door?
You need to the 6 is gonna be a 7.
Why? You're right.
Because if it's 5 or over than 5, that means you have to go up 1 more.
Okay. That 5 is telling that 6 you got to go up 1. So that 5 is going to be, that 6 is going to become a 7. What do I do next? Martin got us started really well. What am I going to do next? Or how am I going to finish this up? Miranda, what did you do next?
You're going to turn the 5 to 0.
Okay. Just the 5?
No.
And the
All the rest of these are going to become zeros, and so that's 4 zeros. I know that's written on top of those words, but I hope you can see that that is 70,000. Okay? All right, a lot of you had that. And so I hope you're getting comfortable with both of these ways, really. But today you get to choose. Okay. We are to the problem set. In fact, I want you to look at it for a second before we jump in. And I think today I'm going to do, let's work for 4 or 5 minutes. Let's stop and check it. Let's work for another 4 or 5 minutes. Let's stop and check it. If you get pretty far in those 4 or 5 minutes, that's fine, but I think that will help some of you along the way. Look at our problem set. This looks a lot different than the last few days. The last few days we've had these problems that have been real spread out because of all these vertical number lines that we have used. Today, look at the directions. This whole section, round to the nearest thousand. This whole section, round to the 10,000. This whole section, 100,000. Okay. Please look at me for a second. Don't start putting things away. I need you with me right now. There is a place in between each section that says explain why. Okay, we're going to jump over the explaining today, so I'm not going to ask you to do that part unless you ask me. If you ask me, then you get to do it. No one else has to, but you get to do it. Right now, I'm telling you, and I'm helping you become a better listener. 1 year in 4th grade, we had trouble listening to directions, and I would say, do this part of the page, but you don't have to do this. And then I would get asked 20 times, do we have to do this? Do we have to do this? So finally one day I went, do this, but don't do this unless you ask me. Because I'm telling you right now, we don't do it. But if you ask me, because you're not listening right now, then you get to do it. No one else has to, but you do. Okay? Yeah, wait a minute now. I'm going to listen a little closer. So we kind of laughed about it, but I'm telling you right now, you do not have to do the explain part. Okay? Yes.
Can we do like the problem sets at home?
Can we do the problem set at home instead of right now? If you're at home, you can do the problem set at home. But if you're at school, we're going to do them at school. Because that's what that is that's a chance for you to practice kind of more on your own and for me to see, oh, yeah, they're getting it, or we need another couple of days. So, all right. Let me make sure I've told you everything. If you get done with those 3 sections, there are some word problems. Just give them a try. Our main thing we want to get finished is the first page. But if you have time, I do want you to give these a try. Yes.
On the page, we just went to do, what's it called?
The one that we were just on?
Yeah.
Right there?
Do we have to write a number line, or does it matter?
Okay, great question. I thought I might have said it already, but maybe I didn't. This is where you get to choose. Okay? If you want to do a number line, come out to the side and draw your number line. If you run out of space, grab some scratch paper. If you don't want to use the number line, you do not have to use the number line. This is, you get to choose the way you...
Just write the number if we're going to do it this way on the side.
If you're going to do it that shorter way with the dot and the arrow, you can go right up above the number and do it. If that's too tiny for you and you want to come out here and draw it bigger, you can do that. Okay? All right, let's do this. Let's put everything away and get out our workbook. We are going to take a quick restroom break before we actually get started. So if you would put your mask on and walk to the door, make sure you're spread out. And as soon as we come back, you know exactly what to jump into. sometimes we get new books and it's a new version, and so the page numbers change. One year, we didn't realize that until it took a while for us to realize I had an old book and everybody else had a new book, and so our page numbers were different. So we'll check it when we come back. Brandon, join us. Okay. It's a band to help. It's called tennis elbow, even though I don't play tennis. It's the elbow's messed up. It's not really helping.
What page do it go to? It is 0. It's 54. It's 51.
Even if you do not know the page number, you know this is lesson 9, so you can always look for problem set for lesson 9.
That's homework.
So yeah, make sure it says problem set and not homework.
It's page 49.
Okay. Page 49. That's where we're going to start. One reminder, look at your directions and what you're rounding to. If you need scratch paper, it's over there, but you may have plenty of space on the page. Okay, go ahead and get started. We will check some of these in just a minute. Not without your mask. Put your answer in the blank. If you get stuck, I have a question. Let me know. I told you we were going to kind of start and stop. So if you would stop where you are, you're fixing to have a few more minutes to work. Let's just make sure we're on the right track. While you were working, I thought of something. I want you to know why this is here. This little poem is great and all to help us remember things. But why does it say 5 or greater? Hasn't 5 been our middle point, even if it's 5 or 50 or 5,000? 5 is right at the middle. And so if you've put something on this number line from the middle up, you've gone up to the next number, haven't you? That's why the poem says if it's 5 or greater, add 1 more. If it's 4 or less, keep it the same. Question?
An arrow too.
Okay. Yes,
An
please
arrow
do.
for Miss Wendy because I always put an arrow in the middle. I put an arrow upwards and downwards.
Okay. Very smart. All right, so let's do just a couple of these. Let's look at C. C was 42,099. Thousands place. I look next door. Right? If I'm not doing something right, you better keep me straight. The 4 stays the same. Does that 2 stay the same?
Yes.
Yes? Why? Faith, why?
It's the same because it's not more than 5.
Yeah, because 0 is tiny, isn't it? I mean, it's nothing. So that stays the same, and all of these become zeros. Any question about that one? Okay, the answer to C was 42,000. Okay. Let's look at D. 801,504. Thousands place. Look next door. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the 8. I'm going to bring down the 0. Is that 1 going to change? Do you think it's going to change? Sure. Because of what?
Greater.
Yeah, that 5 next door is going to push it up to the next digit there. So all of these become zeros. So this is 802,000. Okay. Hope that is helping. I'm going to, let me stop there. I'm not sure how far some of you have gotten. Some of you are maybe not that far, and some of you are already to the back page. So let's put another 5 minutes on the clock, and we will go over some more of these in just a little bit.